Hello and welcome back to your respect and to another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. And yeah, it's a very big episode of Smackdown today because of course we've got the three stages of hell this match this week between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship and much more on the show. And after a quick intro, Randy Orton made his way to the ring for his first real promo since returning last week and hitting an RKO on the Miz without saying anything. Before the Viper could even get out two sentences, Trick interrupts him. He came up dressed for his match with Phoenix, but he wanted to trade words with Orton first. Williams said it was 2026, not 2006, which seemed to indicate he thinks Orton should step aside for newer guys. Orton says he sees a star in Williams, but he made the mistake of interrupting a legend killer. As expected, things got tense and turned into a fight. Orton hit a few punches and JPD on Williams. The Miz attacked Orton from behind, but the Viper turned it into a finisher for his RKO. Pretty run-of-the-mill. It set up a feud with Orton with both those guys, but it also made the new guy SmackDown kind of done before his first match on the main roster, which wasn't ideal. But yeah, getting on to that match, Phoenix made his way to the ring and first bumped Orton as they passed each other. This was Williams' first official match as a member of SmackDown, so there was a lot of eyes to see how he performed. They locked up and Trick Willie showed off his power by easily pushing Phoenix to the ropes. They traded a few near falls, but Williams kept the upper hand. Phoenix hit a few nice moves, but most of this match was dominated by Trick. He'd always work with smaller guys, but this seems to be a bit slower than what we usually see. If they had picked up the pace a bit sooner, it would have been a great match, but it felt like they were taking it easy until the final few minutes. We both know what these guys can do, so it's a little surprising they didn't do more. Williams ended up countering a pin with a handful of attacks to get the win. Making this a dirty victory might be an indication I'll have another match soon. And yeah, obviously we were attacked by Orton beforehand as well. I think, quite a good win for Trick. 6 out of 10. Moving on into Julia versus Alexa Bliss for the US title. James was by her client's side. Bliss was solo this week due to Charlotte being sick. So yeah, it was a disadvantage for her. They started the match with an exchange of strikes that ended with the champ hitting a sat suplex and a missile dropkick for a 2. Bliss didn't start to gain any momentum until after a break, but Julia didn't make it easy on her. She kept finding ways to combat the former world champ's offense. The James distracted the ref while Bliss was preparing to hit Sister Abigail, but the goddess took her out. Lash Legend ended up interfering out of nowhere by shoving Bliss off the top rope, which allowed Julia to hit a Northern Light suplex for the win. It was good energy in this match, but having another dirty finish right after we had one in the first match wasn't ideal. Jackson Legend destroyed Bliss and Julia after James had left. Overall, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Next up, Solo and the two Tongas and Tangaloa were accompanied by JC Mateo for their match against Uncle Howdy, JDAC, Eric Rowan and Dex Lewis, who had Nikki Cross by their side. The arena lit up in fireflies as the White Six made their way to the ring. It's great to see the crowd still so in the group despite WWE being consistent with booking it. Loomis and Noah started for their teams and the Wyatts took control with a double team offense from Casey and Loomis. The MFT took control during a break and we returned to see Sikoa hitting Casey with a signature running hip attack. There was a fast-paced match with a lot of physicality and the showdown between Howdy and Sikoa was what we were all leading to. Sikoa used the lantern to draw Hardy's attention away from the ring, allowing Tama to hit his finisher and get the win for his team. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, pretty good match. I think good win for the NFTs, but yeah, I'd like to see them do more with the White Six. It was a week of debuts with Trick Williams, then Jordan Grace having her first outing against Fire. Grace started unloading as soon as she got her hands on Fire. She hit a few short unclotheslines and a modified sidewalk slam before Fire shot back with a kick and DDT for 2. Green distracts the ref while Grace was trying to pin her opponent, so the Juggernaut threw Fire to knock her off the apron. She hit a torture rack powerbomb for a quick easy win. It wasn't a very long match, there wasn't much to it, but we saw a bit that looked good. Fire's a reliable performance, Grace is good at power moves, so yeah, they got a good few spots. And as the victor was leaving, Jade Cargill came out, sized her out, talked little trash. It looks like WWE's going to throw Grace right into the title scene, which isn't surprising. She's proved herself, so no point waiting. And yeah, can't wait for that. It's going to be a great match. Before we then moved on to Carmelo Hayes versus Shinsuke Nakamura as a mystery challenge. Melo had a huge smile on his face when he squared up to the man. They started with a clean lockout and takedown sequence. With both men operating as faces right now, it was clear we were going to get a good clean match. Which was a nice change of pace. We've been saying it for months, but the US title's about to be a weekly high on SmackDown. And yeah, this match was no different. Nakamura is a talented veteran and Hayes is a gifted young star who's just beginning to find his groove, so it would have been shocking if they didn't put together a great match. Nakamura worked on the leg of Hayes for a long time to soften him up and take his ability away. The young camp kept himself in the fight. They had a lot of time to make it fun, and the challenger was in a good effort, but Melo was able to cancel Kinshasa with the first 48, hitting the diving leg drop for the very good win. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Moving on into Cody v Drew, and yeah, WWE been hyping out throughout the card, and there was no commercials in the last hour. The first 4 was standard wrestling, and it got exactly 30 minutes left in the episode. Rhodes came out of the gate hot and sent McIntyre out for a suicide dive. The rest was distracted and allowed a loose turnbuckle when the Scottish Warrior hit a low blow, followed by a claymore for the first fall. The next stage was false count anywhere, which meant all the rules went out the window. McIntyre McIntyre immediately got a table under the ring and set it up so he could powerbomb the champ for a close two. They fought in a crowd and used the environment to inflict a lot of damage. Rose put McIntyre through the announce table for the second fall, which meant they had to go to a steel cage for the final stage. Both men looked worn out as the cage lower, but the American Nightmare was in a bit better shape. Rose had the upper hand and sent his opponent into the walls of the cage a few times. McIntyre almost escaped through the door, but Rose brought him back with a suplex. Both men survived each other's finisher a few times for another 15 minutes. When it looked like McIntyre was about to win, Fatu showed up and got in the cage to start beating up. He ended up fighting Rose too, and that gave the challenger the opportunity he needed to go through the door and win the WWE Championship. The match was exactly what it needs to be. It made Rose look like a fighting champion even in defeat. McIntyre winning the title is going to make a lot of fans happy, especially those who live in Germany. There's not much to say other than both men did a great job. Fatu returning immediately gives McIntyre another rivalry as he begins his reign, but he's also going to have to deal with an angry Rose costing him his belt. So yeah, so many interesting storylines. A bit of a curve on the road to WrestleMania, but yeah, one that I'm not against at all. Very intrigued to see where it goes. 8 out of 10. It may seem strange, but somehow the past 2 weeks of SmackDown have made 3 hours easier to sit through than Raw, which is a bit shorter. You know, giving us a solid mixture is different. I mean, the 2 closing matches were fantastic, and yeah, so pleased for McIntyre, and so looking forward to seeing what he can do with the belt as well. So yeah, on the whole, this SmackDown gets a 7 out of 10 from me. A very good SmackDown.
Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.